Marathon is a forthcoming first-person shooter from Bungie, the team behind hit games like Destiny 2 and the original Halo. A recent trailer gave us the scoop on what players could expect from the game, which was rumored to be in development for quite some time before Bungie's actual announcement in May. Marathon is making its long-awaited return, with developer Bungie rebooting the series as an extraction shooter. What's interesting is that it will be releasing across PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, in spite of the studio being acquired by the PlayStation Studios Group in 2022. If you aren't familiar with the franchise, the Marathon trilogy is what Bungie earned its reputation on before it became synonymous with Halo and Destiny. These early first-person shooters released between 1994 and 1996, and after a 27-year break, Bungie is returning to the universe it created with a new multiplayer-focused installment. Naturally, Bungie working outside of the boundaries of Destiny 2 has immediately made Marathon one of the most anticipated the upcoming PS5 games. The new extraction shooter, where you'll work solo or in a crew of 3 to survive other players and a hostile planet, was unveiled at the PlayStation Showcase, and there's loads of info to wrap your head around. To the surprise of many, it is actually a return to the studio's earliest franchise. Those original titles were made in the same style as the original Doom games, but this new reboot of sorts is going in a very different direction. And, while the Marathon release date is still quite a way away, the hype is real, given Bungie's history of delivering great experiences and the stunning trailer that reintroduced gamers to the remake of the FPS game, which remains a classic. Bungie is yet to set a Marathon release date. In fact, it sounds as if the game is still fairly early in development. Marathon's general manager Scott Taylor says, "There's still a lot of work to do before launch, or even before we're ready to talk about the game in more detail," before adding that it's still too early to give a timeline on when more information will be coming. When Bungie does pull back the curtain in the future, it'll be able to show you the gameplay and be much closer to launch. We expect the Marathon release date to be sometime in 2025. This is backed up by previous insights from Bungie CEO Pete Parsons, when he confirmed in a 2019 interview that a non-Destiny game would be released by the end of 2025. Game studios sometimes share their forthcoming projects years ahead of their debut. In a post on the Bungie blog about Marathon, Bungie general manager Scott Taylor suggested, "There's still a long way to go before release, which makes it unlikely players will see it within the next year." There are some theories circulating that the Marathon release date could be April 27, 2025, due to a date formatted number on the thigh of a runner in the official trailer. However, due to Bungie being based out of America and the date formatting being in UK style, we're inclined to disagree with these rumors. There is no official release date for Marathon yet, but our best guess is that the Marathon release date is the 27th of April 2025. We know from an IGN interview with CEO Pete Parsons that Bungie intend to release a non-Destiny game by 2025, and so far Marathon seems likely to fit this schedule. We currently think the release date might be the 27th of April because of a possible Easter egg in the Marathon announcement trailer. When the runner gets shot, there's a shot where we clearly see the number 27.04 on a pack by the runner's thigh. This number is shown again on a similar red pack on the body of the shooter's squadmate, making it seem like a significant number. Bungie in the past have been known to insert Easter eggs relating to release dates in their trailers and media, so it wouldn't surprise us at all if this is the release date they're aiming for with Marathon. This is all speculation, however. At the moment, Marathon remains firmly in a pre-alpha state, and we likely won't hear much more about the game for some time while Bungie focus on developing and play testing the game, and marching towards their alpha, according to the Marathon Dev Diary. Marathon will be released on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. While Sony acquired Bungie in 2022, the studio has committed to being a multi-game and multi-platform studio. As part of this commitment, the studio has confirmed that the new Marathon game will feature full cross-play and cross-save support. This means that players should be able to play with their friends no matter what platforms their pals choose to play on, and that a player's account information and cosmetics should be accessible from any platform on which they own the game. Unfortunately, this does mean that Xbox One and PS4 players won't be able to join in on the fun, unlike Destiny 2. While this should result in a more next-gen feeling game, it is nevertheless unfortunate that many won't be able to play the game. However, by 2025, we'll be well and truly into the current-gen consoles, with 5 years behind us. Rumors of the Marathon reboot were first reported by Insider Gaming in October 2022. Its report revealed that Bungie would be reviving the Marathon IP and would transform it into an extraction shooter, which has come to fruition. At the time, Insider Gaming's sources said the game was in a pre-alpha state. Parsons' comments about launching a new franchise by 2025 stemmed from an interview he did with IGN in 2019, which is most likely referring to Marathon first and foremost. While we expected a 2025 release date anyhow, Bungie was perhaps planning for an earlier launch, possibly in late 2024, as Schreier reports that Marathon has been pushed back to 2025. This comes alongside news of a series of important and unfortunate layoffs across Bungie in October 2023, particularly in regards to Destiny 2, including community and social positions, art, marketing, player support, and even Michael Salvatori, one of the many talented composers behind the Destiny official soundtrack. It's likely that Bungie's portfolio of projects has been rescheduled and delayed, as Destiny 2 The Final Shape expansion is also reportedly delayed alongside Marathon. This means that eager players will be waiting quite some time before they can sink their teeth into Marathon. Marathon is a new first-person shooter from Bungie, the creators of Halo and Destiny. This is the first completely new project from Bungie in over a decade, and it's distinct from the Marathon games that were released for Mac OS back in the 90s. Instead, this new Marathon game is set to be a PvP-focused extraction shooter, where you'll need to compete with other players for riches, renown, and survival in an ever-evolving world. Marathon is said to be a reimagined version of the space game of the same name that Bungie released in 1994, which the company followed up with Marathon 2 Durandal in 1995, and Marathon Infinity in 1996. The modern Marathon will be a PvP-based game with no single-player campaign element. Players can play solo or in crews of up to 3 people. Bungie has clarified this is not a remake or a sequel to the 1994 game, but set in the same world. The game is an escape from Tarkov-style extraction shooter, and your objective is to collect items you need while staying alive and avoiding death from environmental elements or other players. Any items you collect will level up your character to make them stronger, giving them the tools they need to survive future missions. Artifacts can be combined to make even stronger tools called Prime Artifacts. Unlike some extraction shooters, the game centers on a broader narrative that will unfold throughout each season. The development team has suggested there are many ways to become famous or infamous in the game, such as through leaderboards, being the first to unlock zones, or helping other players throughout your journey. Marathon game director Christopher Barrett confirmed the game is not intended to be a sequel. The game also features a unique, cyberpunk-esque art style full of bright, vibrant colors. In true Bungie style, it will have Bungie-like elements of deep lore, a unique design style, and solid gunplay and weaponry. Bungie may be known for the Halo and Bungie franchises, but before all of that it was known for building a series of fantastic first-person shooters called Marathon, Apple Macintosh exclusive games which were released between 1994 and 1996. Christopher Barrett, game director for the new Marathon game, has confirmed that this PvP-focused FPS is not a direct sequel to the originals, but something that certainly belongs in the same universe. Barrett adds, "You don't need to know anything about Marathon to understand or play this game, but if you do, we've made the experience with references and deep cuts you'll recognize." Marathon will not feature a single-player campaign. Bungie is building Marathon with the PvP experience as our foundation, although game director Christopher Barrett says that narrative is still a key pillar to the experience, beyond the story-driven stories that extraction shooters are so adept at generating. The heart of Marathon's gameplay experience is PvP, but it isn't the entire story. We're building a rich, immersive world that will have ample opportunities for exploration and conflict, both against other players and AI-controlled enemies. Combine that with the different objectives and motivations that players will have for each run, as well as the narrative doors that can be unlocked as players discover things and accomplish tasks, and it creates this really rich palette of gameplay possibilities that will only continue to grow and evolve. Little is known about the Marathon setting right now, particularly as it's separate, although within the same universe, to the original Marathon games. But here's what we do know: the new Marathon game will take place on the mysterious planet of Tau Ceti 4. The world is deserted, abandoned by the 30,000 souls who once called it home, and as a runner you'll have the chance to explore it all. There's also strange signals, long-dormant AI, and other mysteries to contend with. Players will engage solo or in crews of 3, searching for mysterious alien artifacts, as well as for valuable loot and new weapons and gear that they can add to their collection, says game director Christopher Barrett, who also teases that the world will be full of persistent, evolving zones, where players create their own journey with every run they take. We anticipate that the Marathon release date will arrive in Q2 or Q3 2025. While Bungie is yet to state a release window or date, given it was only revealed in May 2023, and CEO Pete Parsons said previously he wanted other franchises outside of Destiny up and running by 2025, this window is likely. This also lines up with news reported by Jason Schreier that Marathon is delayed to 2025. Bungie has confirmed that when it does launch, Marathon will be coming to current-gen consoles and PC only, it won't be coming to PS4, Xbox One, or Switch. Marathon is still a long way off from crossing the finish line. so pre-order are not made available yet.